Sorry. Okay, so here's part 4 of me reading The Little Mermaid. "It's you," said the prince to the princess. "You're the one who rescued me when I was lying half dead on the beach." And he clasped his brushing bride in his arms. "I am so happy," he said to the Little Mermaid. "My dearest wish, more than I ever dared hope for, had been granted. My happiness will give you pleasure, because you're more devoted to me than anyone else." The Little Mermaid kissed his hand, and she felt as if her heart were already broken. The day of his wedding would mean her death, and she would turn into foam on the oceans. All the church bells were ringing as the heralds rode through the streets to proclaim the betrothal. Perfumed oil was burning in precious silver lamps, and joined hands and received the blessing of the bishop. Dressed in silk and gold, the Little Mermaid stood holding the bride's train, but her ears never heard the festival music, and her eyes never saw the holy rites. She was thinking about her last night on earth, and about everything she had lost in the world. The same evening, bride and bridegroom went on board the ship. The cannon roared, the flags waving, and in the center of the ship, sumptuous tent of purple and gold had been raised. It was strewn with luxury cushions, for the wedded couple was to sleep on that calm, cool night. The sails filled with the breeze, and the ship glided lightly and smoothly over the clear seas. When it grew dark, colored lanterns were lit, and sailors danced merrily on deck. The Little Mermaid could not help thinking of the first time she had come from the sea and gazed on just such a scene of joyous festivities, and now she joined in the dance, swerving and swooping as lightly as a swallow that avoids pursuit. Cries of admiration greeted her from all sides. Never before she had danced so elegantly. All that was joy and merriment on board until the long past midnight. She laughed and danced with the others while the thought of death was in her heart. The prince kissed his lovely bride while she played with his dark hair, and arm in arm they retired to the magnificent tent. The ship was now hushed and quiet. Only the helmsman was there at his wheel, and the Little Mermaid leaned on with her white arms on the rail and looked to the east for a sign of the rosy dawn. The first ray of sun, she knew, would bring her death. Suddenly she saw her sisters rising out of the sea. They were as pale as she, but their long beautiful hair was no longer waving in the wind. It had been cut. "We had given our hair to the witch," they said, "to save you from death that awaits you tonight. She has given us a knife. Look, here it is. See how sharp it is? Before sunrise you must plunge it into the prince's heart." Then, when his warm blood splashes on your feet, they will grow back and form a fishtail, and you will be a mermaid once more. You will be able to come back down to us in the water and to live your 300 years before being changed into foam of the salty sea. Make haste, either he or you will die before sunrise. Our old grandmother has been feeling such sorrow that her white hair has been falling out, as ours fell under the witch's scissors. Kill the prince and come back to us, but make haste. Look at the red streaks in the water. In a few minutes the sun will rise, and then you will die." And with strange deep sigh, they sank down beneath the waves. The Little Mermaid drew back the purple curtain of the tent, and she saw the lovely bride sleeping with her head on the prince's chest. She bent down and kissed his handsome brow, then looked at the sky there, where the rosy dawn was growing brighter and brighter. She gazed at the sharp knife in her hand and again fixed her eyes on the prince, who whispered the name of his bride in his dreams, and she alone was in his thoughts. The little mermaid's hand trembled as she held the knife. She flung it far out over the waves. The water turned red where it fell, and something that looked like drops of blood came oozing out of the water. With the last glance of the prince from eyes half dimmed in out of the water, with the little last glance of the prince from and death, she threw herself from the ship and into the sea and felt her body dissolve into foam. And now the sun came rising up from the sea. Its warm and gentle rays fell on the death-chilled foam, but the little mermaid did not feel as if she were dying. She saw a bright sun, and hovering around her, hundreds of lovely creatures. She could see right through them, see the white sails of the ship and the rosy clouds in the sky, and their voice was the voice of song, yet too ethereal to be heard by mortal ears, just as no mortal eye could behold them. They had, ignore that was my phone, no wings, but their lightness bore them up as they floated through the air. The little mermaid saw that she had a body like theirs, and she was rising higher and higher out of the foam. "Where am I?" she asked, and her voice sounded like that of the other beings, more ethereal than an early music could sound. "Among the daughters of the air," answered the others. "A mermaid does not have an immortal soul, and she can never have one unless she wins the heart of the love of a human being. Eternity for her depends on a power outside her. Nor do the daughters of the air have everlasting souls, but through good deeds they can earn more of themselves. We shall fly to the hot countries where the stifling air of pestilence means death for humans. We shall bring cool breezes. We shall carry the fragrance of the flowers through the air and send comfort and healing when we have tried to do all the good we can in 300 years. We shall win immortal soul and have share in humankind's eternal happiness. You poor little mermaid, you have tried your whole heart to do what we are doing. You have suffered and endured and have raised yourself into the world of spirits of the air. Now the 300 years of good deeds, you too can earn yourself an immortal soul." The little mermaid raised her crystal arms toward the sun, and for the first time she knew what tears felt like. On the ship there was much bustling about and sounds of life. The little mermaid saw the prince and his beautiful bride searching for her. With great sadness they gazed at the pearly foam, as if they knew that she had thrown herself onto the waves. Unseen, she kissed the forehead of the bride, smiled at the prince, and then mounted onto a rose-red cloud that was sailing to the sky with the other children of the air. Okay, so that was me reading The Little Mermaid. I hope that you guys enjoyed. I'm sorry this was really long, but I hope you enjoyed. This was for my friend Josie. Hi, Josie. I hope you liked this video. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in another video soon. Bye!